What was your plan for Jason coming into today's game?
Well, we knew it was a weird schedule from the standpoint Thursday, instead of Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We had to go Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Looked at the weather. We were going to start him either way, but then we don't have the option to play Saturday. So as long as we could play Sunday, we felt like he needed to start. You know, if it had been Houth on Sunday, we would have started him. If it had been Knapp on Sunday, just because he hadn't pitched in so long. It would have been so long for him. We were thinking 75 pitches probably, and I think he ended up with 70. So I thought he was outstanding. And Jason doesn't do well with going too long without pitching. Some kids can handle, like Knapp needed a little bit of that rest because of his surgery, but Jason needed to pitch today. I wouldn't be surprised if his velo is even up more on Sunday, so that was the plan.
What's been the big difference between, since the Duke game didn't go very well, but the starts since then have gone much better? What's been the difference for him?
Number one is him. He's steady. He doesn't let one or two outings affect his confidence. You know, Coach Fox asked me when I was a player, does your confidence waver with performance? And I had to think about that as a player. It's like, yeah, you know, it does, but he told me I want to get you better at that, because if you work, you should keep your confidence, because you're going to be a human being and have some bad outings. So he works. He's always confident. And then Coach Gaines and Coach Howell mechanically made a couple adjustments with him. That's where our pitching area has been so valuable. You know, it's one thing to have the data, but if you can't apply the data, it doesn't matter. But through support and generosity, we were able to build that pitching facility. And those two worked together and just found a little mechanical thing that helped him out and get more in direction and helped all of his pitches and hold his stuff better.
You weren't worried about the pitch count with 4 days rest in between?
No. If anything, I think 6 days is too much. I would like everybody to pitch all 4. That's the challenge in college baseball, is trying to figure out how many bullpens. 5 would be perfect, but in my experience, 4 days is how our guys have always responded better and been sharper. So not at all. I mean, honestly, Jason could have thrown 110 and then thrown 110. That's where he is as part of the season.
Had you started a weekend starter in the first game after the exam break before like that?
Probably have, yep. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure the answer to that is I'm about 99.9% sure we have.
You talk about pitching plan A, pitching plan B. Was this plan A for the bullpen today?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You know, all these guys, nobody had pitched for a week, so we had everybody available. But it ended up going, we wanted to not pitch McDuffie unless we absolutely had to. But other than that, we'd like to get some more guys in there, but it just kind of, guys pitch that well and it goes that quick. You know, it's plan A because we won and we won big.
Double-digit strikeouts, no walks.
I didn't even look at no walks. I looked at the fact that we only had 2 strikeouts as an offense till the last inning, so I'm going to have to give those 3 guys a hard time. But yeah, no walks and a lot of strikeouts. I thought everybody threw well out of the bullpen. I know Coach Gaines and Coach Howell worked really hard with Seagraves because his splits have been kind of backwards. He's been way better against lefties and righties, and they think they found something. I thought he looked really good today, as well as Lynch and Bolton.
Rom,
Yeah.
the DH has been kind of a carousel. Is it still going to be matchup based, or did he sort of separate himself a little bit?
I wouldn't say it'll be matchup based. At times, you know, we do go based on the matchup, but you know, I also go with what my gut is and what I see every day and where a kid's confidence level is. You know, it's a credit to Rom though, because it's not easy to handle when you played every day at junior college. You've had that type of success and put up those numbers, and then had the fall in the preseason. But he stayed with it. I told him early on, it's the best thing that ever happened to you if you can handle it and move on. And what you saw is, like, there aren't many kids that can do that. I told him that was a Mac Horvath swing, where you're just fooled and you just get the head out and you have so much strength. So I have a feeling he's going to get hot.
Bottom of the lineup, so productive tonight.
Yeah.
What does it say to this offense to have those 3 guys at the bottom to be able to produce like that when maybe some of the top isn't?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have distribution throughout the order. You want your guys to be your guys, but it's just hitting's hard. And we have that speed down there too with Madera and French. Carter's been outstanding, played an unbelievable left field. He didn't get the bunt down, but he's gotten every other bunt down. He's a tough kid. He didn't let it affect him, and he had, 2 hits, I think. And Carter can hit anybody's fastball, and that's what you want at the bottom. And Madera's older and can run. And then obviously our DH has been better. You know, even Angelo, when he's been in there, Lee Sowers has been in there. And so we have more options at this point than we had. Sawyer Black took BP today. which was good for him to have him hopefully available pretty soon.
How does the recovery process work for a hamate injury and getting him back to take BP and then get adjusted to live pitching?
It's individual. It's just a matter of when the bat speed's there. He swung today live in BP. But we'll know, the ball be jumping, the ball be going over the wall because he's got power and we won't rush him back.
Have you seen a guy be a pitch magnet like Kane is?
Man, Reed Frunk, I'd like to go look at what he did in 2007.
21.
He had 21.
Kane passed him today.
So, obviously that was back when we had you could lean in too. Like, you can't lean in now. So, I was one of those when I played. If I got 2 strikes, I wasn't a very good hitter, so I just lean in and try to get hit by a pitch. But Frunk was really good. Datris was pretty good at it. But man, that kid, boy, he freaking brings it every day. He's unbelievable.
Can you speak overall about the NC State series? Obviously, the top of the conference is so bunched. It's a huge series.
Yeah, I made a mistake my first year of just saying, every game's the same, but it's not. And you learn things as a head coach. It's a rivalry series. You look at the schedule early on. If you're in a good place, you hope that both teams are good. You hope that the place is packed because that's why you come to the University of North Carolina. So I just told the guys, I'm excited for them because they put themselves in this position, and it's their time. As a coach, at this point, I'll get them ready in practice tomorrow, and I'll just sit there and watch them play, and I remind them, go after it, be aggressive. This is why you do it, and it's going to be awesome.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.
Hey, get a fresh cut. Come on. I look forward to watching your interview, buddy.
New haircut, Jason?
Yeah. Stoked.
Good.
Gotta make the monopods.
All right, when you have a weekend off, how do you mentally adjust? How do you stay in the bullpen to just kind of get yourself ready, especially with the Tuesday and then a Sunday?
We threw a sim game on Friday, and the big focus on that was trying to make it as game-like as possible. We didn't throw a ton of pitches, but just really trying to get into the same routine that we've been in for the last however many weeks. But I thought that was really helpful. And then also today, I definitely wanted to throw today when that idea was brought up. I felt like last year after the break I was a little shaky the week after, and I was pretty excited when I heard that there was a chance I could throw today.
With the sim game, do you think that gives you kind of more of an opportunity to get that in-inning coaching from Coach Gaines, or do they just kind of do hands-off?
He's definitely talking to us during the games, especially in the sim game. It's not just inning to inning too. Sometimes it's batter to batter, pitch to pitch out there. But yeah, it's definitely helpful out there.
Obviously, the Duke game didn't go like you would have wanted. What's been the difference since then? You really pitched well the last few starts.
I think the biggest difference is just, mentally, just give up a couple runs. You got to move past it. I felt like that game I didn't do a great job with that. Kind of got a little frustrated, which don't usually do in the middle of the game. I felt like I kind of lost myself a little bit there. So just really trying to focus mentally on just staying present and be where my feet are during the game.
So that's the same pitching strategy. It's just between your ears, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
What are some mental coping mechanisms you have to use during a game when it's not going your way?
In between every at bat, I try and step off, take a deep breath, and just really try to focus on where I am right there. That's really been helpful. In between innings, same thing. Just take a second in the dugout to just sit down, catch your breath, and realize where you are at that moment. And I've been doing that recently, and it's been pretty helpful.
What was your pitching plan today? Knowing that you were on a little bit of a shorter pitch count, was there anything in particular you were focusing on?
Not really, just going after him and establishing the fastball early.
For this entire pitching staff, Coach talked about it, no walks. How big is that for you guys?
That's awesome. Our game plan going in, like I said, was just go after him, and I think that just shows that we executed pretty well.
And pitching on 4 days rest, how do you feel about that? No big deal?
I'd pitch tomorrow if you let me.
So you didn't in your back of your mind, oh God, I gotta come back and pitch Sunday.
No, I did it one time last year in the beginning of the year. We went Tuesday, Sunday, and was perfectly fine with it. So that was fine.
Does it change any of your recovery during the week?
Yeah, it changes. I guess the lifting schedule in between starts. I guess throwing a little bit too. Can't take a day off after a start tomorrow because I have to be ready to go Sunday. But it's not a huge difference.
No.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
That's the question I was gonna ask. The shorter list.
We're supposed to
We're
say-
We're on the same
Right.
page. All right, Rom, you looked pretty animated running the bases on that homer. Can you just kind of take me through what you saw and then thoughts and feelings as that happened?
Well, 2 strikes. Right before that pitch, I said I'm going to be as short as I possibly can to this pitch. I'm not going to try to do too much. That's just God making the ball fly like that. You know, he's had my back through this. And what you see come out right there is just, you know, you go through a good preseason, starting opening day lineup, and then you have to sit down and be a good teammate. And that wasn't hard for me. You know, that was what I wanted to do. I didn't wish anything different for myself. I just wished that we would win, and that's what we've done. And he put me in the DH spot, and I was just going to play like a kid.
How do you stay locked in when you don't really know exactly when you're going to get your playing time or how much?
By not worrying about it. I only care about winning. I only care about cheering my guys on. I don't put too much emphasis on that at all. I'm just ready because if he calls on me, he thinks I have the best shot to help us win.
And then the bottom of the lineup, really productive tonight, hitting next to Alex and Carter. Can you just kind of take me through what that is like?
I mean, bottom of the order, I think we're all pretty good at hitting a good fastball. So I just think that playing with those guys, and Madera, he sees a lot of pitches, so it's good for me to hit behind him. You know, he sees a lot of pitches. I get a good idea of what I'm about to see. And, you know, Carter French, like I just said, he gets to a good fastball. He gets good swings off when I ever seem to be on base. So, yeah.
Preparation, knowing you're gonna start and get several at bats versus you're up pinch hitting. Just sort of walk us through that mindset there.
To be honest with you, I'm just being honest. Like I train I do BP the same way I would if I wasn't starting. So the preparation's really not much different. I try to keep my brain waves as level as they can be and give myself, you know, the best chance to be ready for the game, whether I'm in the lineup or not, and just put together a good BP and stay loose and relaxed.
When do you find out that you're starting?
Well, in this case, Coach Forbes, I talked to him last night a little bit, and he had told me that's a rare case. But usually I'll find out after BP, I would say.
How have you mentored the younger guys not playing every day?
Oh, man, honestly, just talking to them. I love to talk to them guys because I went through the same thing. You know, I had to leave Auburn and go to a junior college, and that was a tough experience, but it was my greatest experience. But I just feel like I don't have I'm not going to say a lot to give them, but I feel like I know the feeling that they have, and I just remind them the importance of their character and who they are outlast this stuff. You know, it's worrying about your performance and whether you're playing is all crap, and what matters is who you are and how you're looking at the situation. So, yeah.
From Auburn to junior college to here, I mean, that's very much a hard journey. Jake Knapp had a similar one. What do you think that's taught you when you kind of talk about it? How are you trying to impart that wisdom, not just on some of the younger guys, but even some of the older ones?
Man, that's a loaded question. God's really been with me through all of this, and my experience is definitely unique. Knapp understands it, but the reality is, like, you at some point, no matter where you're at, you're gonna have to learn to play this game fun and be the same guy every day. And that's what I have been. You know, and I've grown. You know, I haven't been the same guy. It's been tough, but you know, my experience, I wouldn't change it for the world because it's built some resilience in me. And you know, I don't know if I could be the same guy when I'm not playing if I didn't go through all that. So I try to just lead by example. Those guys know what I've been through, know what I'm capable of, and you know, if I'm having a good attitude, they're gonna see that. So.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rom.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.